Hello everyone, welcome back in the second part of the video tutorial on StEER Coastal app uh, in Falcon platform. In the second part of this tutorial, we'll focus on hazard survey. So let's get started. The first thing is to open the app in our mobile. Let's open the Falcon app and then let's select the appropriate app for our work. So here we'll be using the StEER Coastal app version 3. So like the previous case, it is always a good idea to sync our app with the app server. So let's sync the app so that we have all the recent information from the server. Next, let's do the filter. So in the filter, we will activate these draft records and then we'll select our project. So for this mission, it is Hurricane Ian. So let's select this Hurricane Ian as our project. Once done, let's go to the record option. So let's select record here, like the previous case, the part 1 tutorial. We have these app selection, general information, and supplementary media attachment segments. But the first thing is to locate our location for assessment. So let's select our location. So we'll be doing some hazard survey. So let's say we want to select a particular location. And then once we're satisfied with the location, let's save the location. And then the next thing is to go to this app selection segment. And we need to select, these are mandatory fields. So we must answer complete these different fields. So let's do the recognitions level. So this would be, for our case, it's a level 3 field assessment structural team. And in the survey category, we'll be doing hazard survey for this part. So let's select hazard survey. In the hazard category, we'll be doing the coastal hazard survey. And then record origin, it would be the field assessment structural team. So this is going to be fast. Next, we have this general information. In the general information, we need to put the inspector name. So I'll provide my name here. Affiliation. And then once we're done, we can go back. And then the next segment is supplementary media attachment. So as the instruction suggests that we need to take photos that include surroundings of the SS structure or the hazard survey site to get a perspective of the site that we're assessing. Here we have the options to take photos, videos, and audio. But as you can see, as the red asterisk indicates, the photos are mandatory. So let's capture some videos, so photos of the surroundings of the hazard survey site. Once that is done, let's go back. And then we'll have to fill up this hazard assessment information. In the hazard assessment information segment, we have to select the assessed hazards. So as this is coastal hazards, will be characterizing the flow condition. The flow condition here, as you can see, there are different measurement method. So you have these multiple options to select. So let's select as we feel appropriate, like the video evidence or maybe photo evidence. Then maybe we have some flow surrogate in the field. So once we select these, we can go back. The next option is to select all the different flow intensity measures. Like if we're doing assessing the maximum flow depth or the maximum flow velocity or characterizing the waves. So I'll demonstrate all these options. So let's select a maximum flow depth, flow velocity, as well as the waves. Now, if we go to this flow depth section, we have to select what we want to measure as a maximum flow depth. We have the options to perform high watermark survey or run-up limit survey. So let's do both here. Once we select these, we'll have the high watermark survey form. So here you can see the first one is the location of the high watermark measurement. So this is auto-populated here. But if you think the location is not what that corresponds to the survey site, you have always the option to modify these manually. Let's say we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever is appropriate. And then we need to, this is a mandatory field where you need to take photos of the high water mark, and then other information like elevation above the sea level, at the high water mark location, and different instrumentation metadata, and high water mark metadata, like when the measurements was taken, instrument used. Here there are a couple of instrument listed, but if you are using some other instrument, you have always the options to use these other and put your instrument information here. So then next one is related to run-up limit. Similar to high water mark, the first one is the location of run-up limit. You need to also take photos of the run-up limit and then fill these other information like elevation relative to the sea level at run-up location, and run-up metadata and approximate accuracy of the run-up. Next, let's say we're done with these maximum flow depth. And then the options. The next one is to fill the information on the flow velocity. So the first is the location of the flow velocity measurement. We can always modify this location. This is an auto-populated location, but we can always modify it. So for flow velocity measurement, we're using some flow surrogate in the field. So if we have some flow surrogate available, we need to select yes. Once we select yes, then we need to fill up all these information like what are the flow surrogate objects. whether it's a pole, sign, fence, or railing. So our flow surrogate object is pole. Then you have the need to take overall photos of this surrogate object dimension, whether this is a pole, so it may be a metal pipe or timber pole or concrete column. So let's say this is the metal pipe, and then it will show some survey form related to the metal pipe diameter, inside diameter, outside diameter, pipe thickness, length, and other information. And finally, you can also take a sketch as well as photo of the pipe section. And also have these material property information that you can gather from the field. Like, let's say you are collecting some concrete from a concrete column. So here you can use some field instrument to measure the concrete strength in KSI or MPa. And then if we have observed some damage to that surrogate object, then you can take note of those as whether there is an evidence of damage effect or damage. And then also the damage information like failure mechanism, whether it was a flexure, shear, or yield or other. And finally, what is the measured flow velocity based on your surrogate object assessment? You can, and also the accuracy of that flow velocity. The final flow condition measure is the storm waves. So here, this is a very short form where you can estimate what is the maximum wave height and wave height unit and estimated wave period. So these concludes coastal hazard assessment related to flow condition. Short tutorial on coastal app and how you can measure the different coastal hazards related to flow condition. And once you are done with this assessment, you can save it here. So as you can see, I have not filled all those mandatory fields. So the form is giving me some errors. So once you're done completing all these mandatory fields, you'll be able to save it as a complete assessment. Thank you. This concludes the video tutorial on hazard survey in StEER Coastal App.